Hello and welcome back to the Meeting Point Grammar Lessons, and today we have part 4 of our discussion on modal auxiliary verbs. In this one we are talking about modals which can be used to describe annoyance, criticism, concession and past and present habits. So to begin with, let's use some modal auxiliaries to express annoyance. To show annoyance at repeated actions, we can use will and would. Well, if you will sit so close to the TV, no wonder your eyes hurt. He would say that. That's typical of him. So there is will and would to show our annoyance at other people's behaviour. Could have and might have can also be used to show annoyance at something that didn't happen. We saw this one in a previous lesson. You might have told me sooner. She could have tried a bit harder. Okay, this is very similar to a past possibility, but it's more in the intonation that we show the annoyance. You might have told me sooner. It's not you might have told me sooner. It's not the same thing. Structurally it's the same, but we show the annoyance in our tone. Let's look at some criticism. Can is sometimes used to show criticism. You can be very rude at times. Should can also be used. You shouldn't have spoken to her like that. Concession. Might and may can be used to show concession. He might not be very intelligent, but he's certainly good at his job. She may be famous, but there's no excuse for that kind of behaviour. So might and may show concession. They are also used to suggest what we should do when there's no better alternative. This club is so boring that we might as well go home. There's nothing on TV, I may as well go to bed. So there's this structure, may as well or might as well, to show what we could do when there's no better alternative. Let's look at some present and past habits. For repeated behaviour in the present, we can use will. He will often fall asleep in front of the TV. She will spend hours working in the garden. Okay, that's present behaviour, repeated behaviour in the present using will. For repeated behaviour in the past, we can use would, because of course would is the past tense of will. We would go camping every summer and we would spend the whole day fishing. His father would often read him a bedtime story. So this is would showing repeated behaviour in the past. But it has to be repeated behaviours. Now, here we get on to some complications. This form of would cannot be used for state verbs. Okay, this is why it's only used for repeated behaviour. Otherwise we have to use used to. So this form of would is the same as when we use used to in the past. So we would go camping is the same as we used to go camping. We would spend the whole day fishing, or we used to spend the whole day fishing. Both of these are appropriate because we've got verbs like go and spend, which are sort of action verbs. However, we would not use it with a state verb like have. It's not a repeated action, you see. So I could only use used to with a verb like have, not would. And I used to like Tarzan films. Again, the verb like is a state verb, it's not a repeated action. So in those cases I would not use would. So I think that's all we have to say about annoyance, criticism, concession and past and present habits. I hope that was of interest to you. That is the concluding part of our 4-part series on modal auxiliary verbs. Hope that was interesting and useful, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be.